Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tan, the monogamous cross stitcher. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. It's a pleasure to have you all here. So, hope you're all well. I'm doing pretty good. I am probably going to do weekly Flosstubes, as I do tend to do a lot of progress in a week on my current whip, so you will be seeing me weekly. This is going out tonight / tomorrow, so this is Friday afternoon. I'm currently filming this now because I'm going away to Derby at the weekend with my mum, so I won't have a chance to record it in the upcoming days. I'm going to Derby tomorrow until Monday, and then on Tuesday I head to work. I will be filming my other Flosstubes while I'm at work, but this will be the last one I'm at home for a few weeks. So basically, yeah, busy weekend ahead for me. So then let's dive straight into it. So I have been working on my welcome home for the past week. I'm not sure if you follow my Instagram, but if you do, I do tend to post regular updates on there as well. My name is cxc.by.tan. It is linked in the description box, but this is my name right here as well. So go and follow me over there if you want to see regular updates, or wait for my Flosstube, that's fine, whatever you prefer. So this is as far as I've got so far. Okay, just a second. There we go. So that's as far as I've got so far. So I've done all of this along here. Just literally finished this last night, and then I've come along to here. I have actually started some of that, as you can see, today. So that's what it looks like now. Sorry if it keeps going dark. I normally film a lot earlier than this, and I will insert a picture of what it did look like. So this is what it looked like last time I did my Flosstube. As you can see, I have done quite a lot actually. For those of you that are new, I do have a goal of 1,000 stitches, sometimes 1,100 daily, because I do want to finish that by the end of September, hopefully, all being well. So yeah, that's as far as I've got with that. I am in a very high confetti area now, so it's probably going to take just a little bit longer to get as much progress done in a week. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I do. I want to be on track for 30th September finish. Hopefully it doesn't roll over to October, but if it does, that's fine, because my initial goal was end of November. So yes, that's cool, it's okay, it's all good. So that's how we've got so far with that, and I will continue stitching on that tonight. So moving on, I did actually have some Stitchy mail. When I first saw these, I thought, oh, they're really pretty, and then someone told me the cost, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. So I decided I was only going to buy two. I was going to buy one that had purple, green and blue, which is my three favourite colours, and then the second one I was going to buy was going to be rainbow, because I love all the colours together. But then I saw this collection, which I think was Under the Sea, and I absolutely loved the fact that it had pink in it because of my hair. So obviously pink, purple green, which is currently now like a bluey colour, and it had all my favourite colours in there. Pink isn't my favourite colour. Why do I have pink hair when it's not my favourite colour? Because I like it. I don't know why. I just love pink hair, but I don't like the colour. I'm very odd, but you know, I like to be different. So I brought this pretty little turtle. I thought I was going to have a dragon, and then I thought go for something different, so I went for a turtle. So this is my cute little turtle that I got from Agnes Needle Minder. So cute. I will link her shop below. She does tend to have these every 8ish weeks, so because when you look at the fine detail in them, you can appreciate how much they are, because she does put a lot of work into them. So I probably will buy one more, which will be a rainbow one, and then that will be it, she says. So that was the only haul I had. I do actually have something else in the post, which is I found, my friend Teresa told me about these two-handed stitching needles where you've got the eye in the middle and 2 needles either side, and I was like, how does that work? And she says it's basically so you can just keep doing this, you don't have to turn your needle, you know. And I was like, oh, so I had to go with hers. But I used size 26, 28 needles, so obviously on 25 count where there's lots of confetti, the needles need to be quite thin on full coverages. So using, I think hers was a size 24, it didn't work very well. It was so easy to get the knack of it, but because it was such a thicker needle, it didn't work for me. So I think it was last week, I was looking into see if they had other sizes, and it turns out that they did a size 26 and a 28. So I thought, oh, I'm going to look into getting size 26, and everywhere I looked they were sold out, and I was like, oh, okay. So I did a search on the internet. Turns out that they were discontinued, which I thought is such a shame, because if you work on a lower stitch count, higher stitch count, you need to fill a needle. So I was like, right, I'm not going to get these needles. And then by chance I happened to go on eBay, good old eBay, the black market as Cherie calls it, and found some, and they should be here in the next couple of days, hopefully, before I head to work, and I can take them with me and have a play. So yeah. So I'll show you those on one of my stitch alongs when I get them, and then you can see how they work. But they are recently I've started to find that when I'm twisting my wrist, it's getting a bit sore, and I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that. My old bones, I'm only 38, but already my old bones are giving up on me. So I find twisting it gets sore. So that could be the reason why, I don't know. But I think these will make stitching a lot quicker, make everything a lot faster and better, and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's the only happy mail I have received. Oh, I did also get some more threads to finish kitting up Hocus Pocus from the Barking Dog. Thank you very much, Rachel. I would highly recommend Rachel for any of your CXC needs. I will link her in the description box. I'm all about supporting small shops, but if you know the person directly, I will support them more so, because I know them, and I know basically what that money is doing. I'm going off subject, but yeah, I like to support small shops. So thank you very much for those, Rachel. I will happily sit and bobbinate these when I find the will to bobbinate them. Do you offer a bobbinating service? Maybe something to consider, my dear. So anyway, yes, so that's the only Stitchy haul I had actually. I don't tend to buy stuff very often, you'll find. I'm not easily enabled, so I don't tend to delve into stuff. And yeah, I mean, there is a couple of things I do want to buy in the next couple of weeks, and I will talk about that shortly. So in the last video I told you I had 4 to 5 whips on the go, and I am going to show you them now and tell you basically about them. Yeah, so this is the first one I started doing, which is Mini Brush with Magic by Lisa Parker. As you can see, I'm 4 pages complete. I was very much loving doing this. I started this, I think it was straight after I finished my third mini, which was Cherie Gerhardt. But I don't know what happened. I ended up starting a regular and then put it away, and then I was going to do it in a rotation and I never did, and it's just basically sitting there waiting for me to go back to it. So I am stitching this with CXC. I am using 25 count DMC evenweave, which is just an ivory, so nothing too exciting fabric wise. I can't say for sure where I got the grime guard from. It's been that long, but I do love L's, so that's why there's L's on there. So this, I'm very much enjoyed it when I'm stitching on it. It's the dark colours tend to put me off a little bit, so I haven't stitched on it for a while, but I will complete that eventually. Probably when I don't have any other projects planned. I currently have 3 planned so far, so it'll come around again at some point. So that's Mini Brush with Magic. Okay, the next one is this one, which is my current regular, which is Oberon by Elisabeth Alba. I'm stitching this on 25 count even weave, but this was the one where I cut half the paw off because I didn't prepare the fabric. Now this was the last photo I took of it, so I don't have a photo where the paw has been cut off because that was the next paw. But yeah, I'm very upset with this. I don't actually have it on a Q-snap or anything at the moment, so I could probably show it you in full, which I will in a future Flosstube. When I get it out, it's just a bit too much hassle to get them out. As I said before, organisation isn't the best in this room at the moment because it's so small. So yes, and the grime guard is forest friends, because I do like squirrels and foxes and things like that. Very cute. Again, I'm not sure where I got this grime guard from. I think I may have an idea, but I'm not 100%, so I'm not going to say in case it's not from there. But yes, so this is my second one. This was my very first regular, so I very much do enjoy stitching on this, and I loved all the bright colours, and obviously it's a cat. I love cats, so yeah, love that. Just a shame it went a little bit wrong. Still don't know what to do about it. If any of you have got any ideas on what I should do, then I'd love to hear them in the comments. If you think I should just put a mount over it and hide the paw, if you think I should add a bit of extra fabric, let me know what you think. I may not take your advice or someone's advice on doing it a certain way, but but it'd be nice to have some advice on what I could do, so that would be great if you could tell me possibly what I can do about it. Okay, moving on. So my third whip is this little cute steampunk cat. I'm not sure, I got it off Etsy, but I brought it on my old account, so the email that's linked up, I don't use it anymore and I can't get into that email, so I've got no idea what the pattern's called, but I'm going to call it Steampunk Cat. So it's a very cute little cat. It's only tiny, it's only going to be about this big when it's done. It's got 4 little pages. I've completed 1 page, but obviously with a back stitch I've done it as I've gone, because I hate back stitch. I detest it with a passion. So yes, so finished 1 page on him. I think I actually ran out of a colour, 434 I want to say, and that's the reason I never carried on with him. So I think that's why I never carried on with him, because I was doing him with 2 other friends. One friend literally just went at it and finished him, and then my other friend, I don't think she's as far as me. So yeah, it was a sell and it never quite happened. Oh well, never mind. So I will get back to him eventually. It won't take me long to do. It's just a case of when I feel the need to get back to him. So I stitched this again on 25 count even weave, but I dyed the fabric in some strong brewed tea, so it was more of a creamy coloured fabric. You can't really tell, but if I held it against white you could. So I will actually get these whips out for you to see in the flesh in future Flosstubes. Just at the moment I'm not going to repeat myself. So yeah, so this is Steampunk Cat. My 4th whip is my Harry Potter houses. So I saw these on Etsy. It's by a Russian designer. I really can't remember her name. I did finish the Slytherin one, and then I started this one, which is Ravenclaw. So I've only literally nearly completed, I think, 2 pages, and then I was getting a bit bored of the constant block colour and the back stitch, as you can see, so I popped it away. Back when I started cross stitching 2015 properly, there wasn't a lot of choice regards to stitching. Quite a lot of the places that did cross stitch, it was always samplers with back stitch, and I just didn't like them. I didn't like them at all, and I love seeing people's finished bits, but I didn't like them, and I hated back stitch. I just found it so pointless, even though it really makes the piece pop at the end, you know. It really does make the piece look amazing. I hated it, and I was like, I'm not doing them. So I stuck to full coverage, and I love full coverage basically, and that's what I stuck to, because that's all I could find that I liked. And me and Rosie were talking, and I was saying how it's funny how in nearly 10 years, well 10 years in 2 years, how cross stitch has changed so much. I mean, you've got Quakers, and you've got like all these nice cells that people do, and there's just so much more choice out there now of things that doesn't require back stitch, or only has a tiny amount of back stitch. And because I've been very much focused on my full coverage pieces, not been watching Flosstube, not really been looking around online, I've been very in the dark to all these new things that have popped up and come around. So I'm like, yeah, all right then. So, and now I'm starting to discover, now I'm following all these people and watching all these Flosstubes. Yes, I'm a Flosstube watcher now. Get me, that I am seeing all these new things, and I will come back to this conversation in a minute, but we're talking about this. So I love these, and the backstitch put me off a little bit, but it's Harry Potter and I wanted to do them, and you can't do one house without the other 3 houses. So I finished slivering. I will show you a picture of that in a minute. But yes, Ravenclaw, I done 2 pages and then I got bored, so I popped it away. I am doing the backstitch as I go because it's quite intense with it being a bird, an eagle. But yeah, that's as far as I've got on that one. But I'm very much enjoying it. This is stitched in 25 count again, even weave. You might not have noticed, but it is my favourite fabric and count to stitch on. So yeah, I've kind of got used to it doing up full coverages, and then it just followed me on other patterns. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, basically, so this is my finished one. This is slivering that I finished. Sorry, the picture's quite dark. I took it a while ago and quality's not great, but you should be able to see it okay. And I was chuffed to bits when I finished this, and I think it looks amazing. There was meant to be French knots on it. I can do a French knot. The problem is I can't do a French knot that are all the same size, so they were coming out all different sizes. And then I thought, does this snake need dots on it? No, it doesn't. So I didn't bother with the French knots. I just left them off completely. And it doesn't look like it needs it, does it? I think it looks pretty good. So that was my finished slivering. And if anyone's wondering what Gryffindor and Hufflepuff look like, this is the full set here, and I have got the patterns for those, so I do plan to finish those as well in the future at some point. So yes, that's what I've got so far. So those are basically all my whips. I haven't done any more on my temperature cell, so I can't show you that. Like I said before, I'm focusing on my full coverage at the moment, so not really touching that for now. But yeah, so that's basically my whips. I will get them out in the flesh at some point to show you properly, but for now pictures will suffice. So yeah, that's that. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else Stitchy related to talk to you about at the moment. Not really, actually, no. I had quite a lot to tell you in my first one because about the retreat and things, but I don't really have anything extra to say. Oh, I do have one thing to say, actually. All of my colours now fit in one box. There was 236 colours in this chart, and now they all fit in one box. How good is that? Less to carry around with me now, so I'm quite chuffed about that. Yes, so I think that's everything cross stitch wise. I don't really have anything else to say regarding cross stitch, so definitely let me know if you have any thoughts on what I could do about my poor little Oberon in the comments. Also, if there's anything you want to know about any of my whips, do ask. I will put the details that I know of in the description box as well, and I'll link the needle minder there and my Instagram if you want to follow me on there. And basically that's pretty much it. So if you've only come for the cross stitch, then thank you very much for coming, and I will see you again in the next one. Okay, bye. And if you're staying with me, then I am going to talk about what books I have read, films I have watched, and TV I have watched. We'll start with TV because I haven't actually watched a lot on TV. So I did start watching Mayfair Witches, which is this one. I started this a couple of months ago actually. I started watching it on a Sunday afternoon with Rich, his mum and dad. I think we watched a couple of episodes and then I hadn't gone there for a few Sundays, so I continued watching it on my own. And by God am I happy, because there was a lot of sex scenes in that and I could not have sat watching that with Richie's parents. Oh my God, can you imagine? So I was like, yeah, so it's a bit spicy, not overly spicy, but a little bit. So I did enjoy it. It was very good. It's all about the witches. There's you know, if you like witchy programs, you'll enjoy it. It's by Anne Rice, the one that wrote Interview with a Vampire. I think they've just released an Interview with a Vampire series. Actually, I haven't watched that yet. But yes, Mayfair Witches is very good. I enjoyed it. Bit strange, but pretty good. I'll probably most likely watch season 2 anyway, but yeah, I did enjoy that. So if you like witches and magic and stuff like that, then definitely check that out. But that was pretty good. Yeah, the second one I started watching the other night was the Winchesters, which is this one here. I'm only on episode 4. Now, if you're a massive fan of Supernatural, then this is a spin-off from Supernatural. Now, I loved Supernatural. I watched it all the way to the end. All 13 seasons? There was a lot of seasons. And I loved it. And Dean was my favourite. He's so funny. Good looking as well. But yeah, I'm not getting on with the Winchesters, in all honesty. I'm really disappointed because I really want to love it, but it's just like, no. The monsters in Supernatural were just so much better. These just seem really silly. They just don't feel right. So I'm going to continue watching. Well, apparently when I looked if there was a season 2 last night, it's being cancelled. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna bother watching it. Well, I'll finish season 1, but then obviously there's not a season 2. But I'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm thinking it's a little bit. It's like when they rebooted Charmed, and it was like, what the hell is this? This is a load of crap. So I'm a bit on the fence about it at the minute. It's not the best. It's not the best, but yeah. So not been great in the TV world at the minute. Never mind. I've just been catching up on Home and Away. I love my guilty pleasure. I love my Aussie soaps, and I'm so excited for Neighbours coming back next month. I'm sad, and I don't care. I love it. Right, moving on. So, books. I have read a lot of books this week. I think I finished 3 books in the space of 3 days. And I'm like, I really need to slow down. So, yeah. So, I mentioned a book in my last Flosstube, and I couldn't remember what it was for the life of me. And I was really gutted because it was an amazing book. It was bloody brilliant, and I forgot what it was called, so I felt quite bad. So this was the book, The Lost Bookshop. It was such a brilliant book. It was about this lady who basically left her family behind because she was being forced into an arranged marriage by her brother, and she didn't want to marry for the sake of it, which who doesn't? Who wants to get married for the sake of it? So she left and she went to Paris, and she started working in a bookshop, and she became a book dealer, and then she moved to Dublin and started running a little bookshop, which is the Lost Bookshop. Roll on many years later, and you meet this lady which is now living in the bookshop, but it's not a bookshop, it's a house. The bookshop has disappeared, so there's a slight bit of magic there. And she bumps into this man, Henry, who is looking for a lost manuscript, which he thinks is in the bookshop. So he's trying to find this bookshop, but the bookshop is lost. And together they join forces to try and find this bookshop. I'm absolutely terrible at describing books, but believe me, this book was really good. I really enjoyed it. So I thought it was fantastic. So if you want to check that out, be sure to check it out. It was really good. So I enjoyed that. The next book I read was Ward D. This was by Frieda McFadden. Now this was my first book by her. Quite a few people ranting about The Housemaid, I think it was, but I'm a bit of a rebel and I tend to go against the crowd. So if everyone's ranting about a book, then I won't read it till it's forgotten about, basically. So I read this book by her and it was brilliant. It's about this medical student who goes to work the night shift in a psychiatric ward. Now this ward gets locked when you turn up on your shift, and then you can't leave until the end of your shift. There is a key code so you can leave if anything happens, but otherwise you can't. Basically things go down and she gets locked in there and she can't get out, and oh, it's good. It's really good. If you like thrillers, you'll very much enjoy this. I love this. It was brilliant. So that was Ward D by Frieda McFadden. And then as soon as I finished that one, I went straight on to Never Lie by Frieda McFadden, which is this one here. And this again was very good. If you like thrillers, husband and wife are looking for a new house. They end up in this house which is 6 rooms, massive, in the middle of nowhere, and basically they get trapped there. There's a big snowstorm and they get trapped there, and it turns out that this house is the house of the psychiatrist that disappeared 3 years ago, and they never solved her murder or disappearance. So she finds tapes of the recordings this psychiatrist has made during her sessions with her patients, and things start to unravel on the tapes, and she finds out what's happened and how she disappeared and all this, that and the next thing. Oh, it's good. It's got Frieda's books have got amazing twists. So if you're after a thriller with some very shocking twists and turns, then I highly recommend her books. So yeah, very much enjoyed that. Literally demolished these books in a day. Literally in a day. So yeah, I think that's all I've read so far. I think there was a third book. Was there? No, I don't think there was. No. I'm currently reading a third book, but I'm trying to be a bit slower because I'm reading them so fast, and I'm trying to slow down a little bit. So yes, I'll tell you about that one in the next Flosstube. Okay, on to film. Right, film. I watched a few films actually this week. I finally watched The Little Mermaid, the live action version, which is this one here. Oh, it was so good. Now, my favourite Disney is Sleeping Beauty. it will always be Sleeping Beauty. I just love all the characters and I absolutely love Maleficent. But I loved this live action film. I thought it was absolutely superb. Very much enjoyed it. It was absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't say it's exactly true to the film. There is some areas in the film that they don't do, but it wasn't needed, you know. So some of the things they do in the cartoon, which they haven't done in this version, it was fine. It wasn't needed. So it ended up being really good. I enjoyed it anyway. Sorry, one sec, ladies. Been talking for a while. So yes, that was very good. I enjoyed that very much. The second film I watched was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I did actually want to see this in the cinema. I was up for going and watching it with my mum, and I couldn't be bothered to get dressed and go. You know when you're just having a really lazy day and you're really comfortable and you're just like, I don't want to make myself look decent to go outside. It's fine. I'll watch it when it comes up on TV. So I watched it. Oh, it's so sad though. It was so good, but it was so sad. I can't give too much away because I don't want to ruin it for everyone if you haven't seen it, but it was very good. It was really good. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, it was very sad, very emotional, but very good film. Very, very good film. So yeah, that was that. Trying to think if there's any other films I've watched. I went to the cinema yesterday with my nephew. I took him to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new film, Mutant something. Pop it right here. That was really good actually. It was quite strange actually because I wouldn't have paid to go and watch it with anyone, but I was happy to pay to watch it with my nephew. And I was quite shocked to see a lot of teenagers in there actually, because it seemed more of a film for like kids, so more like 6-7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. So I was quite shocked to see like teenagers in there at the age of like, you know, 13 and 14 and 15, so that was a bit weird. But it was a very good film. My nephew really enjoyed it, so he was chuffed to bits. Yeah, that was a great film. It was sort of like old style, you know, when you watch these films with like they've been coloured in with felt tips and stuff. It's really cool, because everything's animated nowadays with computers and stuff like that, so it was nice to see something slightly different. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was really good. So yeah, that was great. Yeah, I think that's everything I've literally watched and read this week. I do tend to binge watch and binge read now by the looks of it, so yeah, that's pretty good. While I've been talking about the films, books and TV and whatnot, I've remembered, if you're still here after all the cross-stitch stuff, then I forgot to mention this. I was thinking, oh, should I just keep it for my next Flosstube? But I might have the stuff to show you in my next Flosstube. I don't know. So yes, I watched Cherie's new YouTube, and way to go, Cherie, you did a fantastic job. I'm very proud of you for putting your big girl pants on and getting it done. Very proud of you for doing that, my girl. So Cherie was going through many whips. Makes my whip pile look massive, doesn't it? And she pointed out that she was doing a Quaker, which was the Enchanted Quaker, which is this one here. Now, as you all know, I am doing the Stitchy for Witchy. I'm not a social butterfly, I'm an antisocial bat lurking in the darkness. So that's the one I am doing for Stitchy for Witchy in October. Now I saw this and I was like, oh, I really like that, because I do quite like block colour, but I like it when it's scattered stitches, because just doing a block colour bores me. But if the stitches are scattered in different directions and things, then I like it. So I was like, oh, I like that Quaker, that looks nice. So I've added to my list of projects to do. So my plan is to do the Stitchy for Witchy first, do that, complete it completely, and then I am going to do this Quaker next before I start my Hocus Pocus, because I don't have goals or timelines or deadlines. I only really have a deadline if I'm coming near the end of my project and I really just want to get it done, and I'm like, right, I want to get this done by this date, which is what I'm doing with my welcome home. So basically I'm doing this Quaker after Stitchy for Witchy. I haven't got the pattern yet, but I will I've inserted a picture of what it looks like here. I'm just trying to decide on fabric, because I always stitch on even weave, but obviously I don't want it to be tiny, so I'm going to do 2/2, but I'm going to do full cross, which is going to be so weird for me. I'm not used to doing crosses anymore, so it'll probably take me a while to do it, because I've, you know, get used to doing the crosses again. But anyway, I'm going to do that. I think I've decided I want to do it on, like, I know it's Halloween, and Halloween's all about the purples and the greens and the oranges, but I think I'm going to do it on, like, a mottled blue, light blue fabric, and I'm gonna do what Cherie is doing and probably use 3799 rather than black. One full colour. At the minute I'm opting between 28 count and 32 count. My friend Amy suggested buying a little sample pack of mixed fabrics and probably just doing test stitches on each one to see which one I prefer, which I probably might do first actually before I commit. I do have a good month and a bit before I start it. I probably won't be starting it until I'm home, because I doubt I'm going to get that Stitchy for Witchy done in 3 days, but I might, because it's not that big. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But if you've come through all the cross stitch and all the films, TV, etc., and you've got to this point, what would you suggest for a Quaker? What fabric count would you suggest? I'd love to know in the comments. If you're still here, then definitely let me know, because this is all very new to me. I only basically buy 25 count even weave and do full coverage, so I'm not used to Quakers and all this sort of stuff. I'm not used to coloured fabrics. I'm not used to stitching on anything higher than 25. So this is all very, very new to me, very, very new indeed. But I really do love the look of that Quaker, so I really want to do it, and it's one I will definitely frame. So yeah, so if you've got any hints, tips and tricks, do let me know. I would very much love to hear them below. I don't think I have anything else to say really. I did want to try and get this video up now, because of I'm not going to have time to film it at the weekend. Let me know below if you prefer shorter or longer videos. I am always going to aim for about 45 minutes to an hour ish on these floss tubes, but obviously only stitching on one at a time. By the time I've showed you that, there's not a massive amount for me to talk about, and unless I've brought any haul, which doesn't happen very often either. So let me know if you enjoy me just jabbering on about random crap, then I'm happy to do that too. So yeah, let me know. I love having conversations with you in the comments, and I love that people are taking the time out to listen to my videos and to watch my videos. And I had such lovely positive comments on my Stitch With Me, so I'm really glad to see that. I will probably do the 2 series, so I'll do the Flosstubes and then I will do the Stitch With Me's in between the Flosstubes. So yes, that's my plan going forward. If there's any tips or tricks that you see me do and you want me to do any tutorials or any mini videos, then also let me know, because I don't mind at all. Any excuse to get the camera out and have a chat and record stuff, then I'm all game. I love chatting to you all. So yeah, I think that's all I've really got to say today. Hopefully I haven't repeated myself too much, and let me know what you think. Chat about anything in the comments and all that. So yeah, so I'm going to leave you now. If you could like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it, and share if you want to. I don't mind at all. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone, and happy stitching, and I will see you all soon. Okay, take care, bye.